Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras to awaken your soul and my question and God's answers. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Today we have a series number 101. Align your free will with divine will. Pranam to Swamiji Hariharji Maharaj for his blessings, guidance. I'm Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Anandam. Whatever you see on this page, all these #1 bestsellers on Amazon.com, CDs, counseling, coaching, guiding, it's all blessing from Swamiji Hariharji Maharaj. And today, 108 series based upon Gita verse, chapter 18, verse 63. How to align your will with divine will. What is free will and divine will? God's will versus my will. And how to align it. And causes of making wrong decisions, not listening. And what are the ingredients to make the right decision, right choices? And what are the benefits? And how to apply and practice in our daily life? My homework and my sankalpa. God's will is my will. Meditation and question and answers. So before starting our further session, let's pray to Lord Krishna, just like Arjuna did when he was confused and could not make the decision, lost his heroism. And then finally, he asked his dear friend, who he did not know that he was the Lord Krishna, for his advice, very humbly and surrendering to him. Karpanye dosho pahat swabhava prashyami tvam dharma sammudi cheta prashyami tvam dharma sammudi cheta yachasaisyani nishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste ham shadimam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadimam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure and my mind is confused about my duty, my dharma, what to do, what not to do. I'm requesting you, please tell me what is the best for me to do, not what am I asking you. I'm your disciple. I surrender to you. Please advise me, instruct me. And after listening to confused Arjuna's request, Lord Krishna blessed him with his timeless wisdom, Bhagavad Gita. And after going through the blissful journey of listening, Arjuna became very purified. His confusion was gone, and he was transformed and uplifted himself to higher conscious level, where he said, Karishye vachanam tav, I will do as you advise. And today we will hear more about whole process of it. And Guruji has put it together in a very simple way in many different quotations, where Arjuna and his divine company, Lord Krishna, were together, and he said, Gita is a step-by-step spiritual instruction manual to know God's will and align our will, your will, with his will, and attain everlasting freedom from miseries and pains, moksha, liberation, eternal happiness, peace, and oneness. It has many terminologies, many different way of explaining, but ultimately it's a self-realization. Who am I? My true nature. I am Satya Chit Ananda. While living in the material world and beyond, experiencing who am I? So let's all go together on this blissful journey to higher self through practicing Bhagavad Gita's teachings, where Lord Krishna gave 574 verses out of the 700 verses, which were put together in the 18 chapters, 3 yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, from chapter 1 to 6, and from 7 to 12, and 13 to 18. And we are here on the learning of Jnana Yoga, true knowledge. And on chapter 18, Moksha Sannyas Yoga. And the verse is again chapter 18 by 63. We are learning from Karma Yoga how to unite with supreme power through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Vasudev Sarvamiti. And now, finally, with the wisdom, supreme wisdom, we are shedding away each layer of ignorance and reaching to the essence of the, just like an onion, how to attain moksha with sannyas, which we had covered before. What is sannyas and how to practice it. So this is the path of renunciation and surrender. How to surrender at the final stage. We have done a lot of study, lot of contemplation and practicing. And now the time to practice surrender. In other words, self-purification and self-transformation to self-realization by the path of renunciation and surrender. So here, at the final stage, Bhagavad Gita is a royal road to liberation. It takes us from miseries to moksha by understanding my true nature. I am Chit Ananda. So this is the ultimate summary of Bhagavad Gita, where we go from Vishad to Prasad by many paths, Karam Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and ultimately unite with the supreme power and unite with myself, my inner being. So today's verse, my will versus Gita's will, that is, it's going to lead us there. Itite jnanam akyatam guhat guhatram maya vibrashe tad shashen yachasai tatha kuru. I have explained to you, Bhagwan is telling Arjuna, I have explained to you the supreme knowledge that is most mysterious and secret of all secrets. After fully reflecting on this, do as you wish. Yachasai tatha kuru. But not without contemplating fully. Vimnashe tat shashen. Here, itite jnanam akyatam. I have given you this wisdom. Previously, I have fully explained you this most secret Gyan. Now, Bhagwanji has told Arjuna that Gyan Akyatam, what he has told him before. He has told him so many things, and Arjuna is still sitting and looking at Lord Krishna. So finally he reminds him that, look, I have already explained you this most secret Gyan. I have told you about the soul, that you are not the body, you are the soul. You must go beyond your limitations, Nistrai Gunabhav Arjuna, by performing your duty. So I have given you many options. Perform your duty, live in righteousness. So duty with love and compassion, with wisdom. So now get up and fight. And by doing it, you will not incur any sin, because Arjuna was concerned about that by fighting with his, getting engaged in this Kurukshetra war, he might hurt others, kill others, and he will be Paap ka bhagi. He will incur the sins. And Lord Krishna says, no, you will not incur any sin. Na papam. You will not get any paap. He also told him that you are very disturbed right now, so you have to be very calm, equanimous. And also explain him the purpose of life and how to attain through Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, through Om Mantra. Showed him his Vishal Roop, that who he is. Still Arjun is not ready to accept. And then he tells him that I have already given you this most secret of the secret Gyan, that you are soul, you are the part of Supreme Soul. You are not the body. So get up and get engaged in this, performing your duty as a Kshatriya. Yachasai tatha kuru. But then he says, I have told you whatever I wanted to tell you. Now you reflect on it. and you do whatever you want to do it. You have full freedom to choose. See, look at our Sanatana Dharma, look at the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. It's a totally democratic dharma. You have full choice. You can worship any god, any goddess, any practices. You can do meditation, you can do karma yoga, you can do bhakti yoga, you can do jnana yoga, whatever pleases you. But perform your duty righteously. See, this particular verse has given the wisdom to millions in the universe because Jachase tatha kuru. You do as you wish. You have a free will. I'm not forcing you. Many religions have force. You have to do this way. You have to worship this way. You have to convert everybody. You have to, if they don't convert, then you go force them to convert. And many other religions support that. But look at the Sanatana Dharma. It says, no, you Vimrashet tatchashen yachasi tatha kuru. You contemplate on what my teachings are, and you do as you wish. So before we go into detail about, I thought this is very, very important for us to know that what is this will God is talking about, that you choose. Why he has to say that? Because Arjuna was at the status of mind where he says, Na jotasiti gobindam, I will not fight. He was so adamant about his own will, his own way of doing things, because he has so much attachment with his family members. He did not have desires. His desires were very minimum. He was not greedy. He was not egoistic. But he was attached to his family. So his actions were based, or his thoughts were based on that. Because at that time, his gunas, his tamasic nature took over. His confusion took over. And his gunas was not an ego, not an I-ness, not that me, I want to win this war, and that's why if I lose, then what happens? I will get the disgrace. So I don't want to get engaged in this war because they have a bigger army than ours, and I might lose, so why to bother? It was not his I-ness, it was not his ego. And also he said he doesn't want the kingdom. So he was not greedy either. But here, I-ness, my ancestor, my great grandfather, my guru, my cousins, my siblings, mine was bothering him. His attachment was bothering him. So sometimes it says that we have 5 + 2 enemies: Kam, Krodh, Lo, Moh, Ankar, jealousy, and resentment. Out of that, even if one takes it over, Vinash is there. So here it was the attachment which was bothering him. So according to him, Arjuna was very confused. He said before, Karpanye dosho pah swabhava pashyami tvam sarnadhammu cheta. So he says, my buddhi is destroyed. I cannot make any decision. So you tell me. Because he was in a very tamasic behavior, lower conscious level. And he says, Na jotasiti gopindam. Now, look at that. With the Lord Krishna's teachings, He uplifted himself. So what is free will? Free will is which one has the ability to make the decision, but righteous decision, not the emotional decision, not based on any limitations. Like here he was with the attachment. No any limitations. And his action is fulfilled with his duty, morality, and he's aligned with the humanity, righteousness. And he seeks to understand and follow the divine guidance. That's where Arjuna was doing it. So he reached to his higher self. And that's where Lord Krishna says, now reflect on it. So choose how to choose. He has a power now because after listening to Bhagavad Gita, after going through this blissful journey, now he has developed that wisdom. And now he is ready. So from tamasic and rajasic nature, now he's going more towards sattvic nature. And he's ready to follow the divine will, God's advice. And that's where it says divine will, which is the supreme power's will now, which is unlimited. See, when we are at the making our personal will or personal, like I will do, I will not do, etc., we are performing based on the very limited will because we are limited. We are overtaken with our emotions, our gunas, tamasic, rajasic, all kind of things. So we are basically a limited individual. Shrinked, like Arjuna shrinked his wisdom. And here, divine will, where it is no limitations, and where the free will is, this is without bondage. It is without any gunas. He already gone beyond the limitations. So no bondage. And without bondage, he's free. So he is now free to make the selection, what to do. He can choose. But now, since he learned about Bhagavad Gita, even he reached to the higher level, higher conscious level, where now he has so much faith, he has totally surrendered. And he says, Hari kare so khari. Let God decide for me. Let God has already decided, he's guiding him, but now he's fully surrendered to him and he's willing to do whatever Lord Krishna is guiding him. So what is divine will? It is the highest universal order or purpose guided by the higher power. Means, what is the purpose of your life? Perform it righteously and align with your dharma. What is your duty? Perform your duty. So harmonize the personal decision with divine guidance. It means he was at a totally sattvic, not rajasic and sattvic, totally sattvic. And he said, I will do as you advise. Karishye vachanam tav. So he moved from personal will with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita to beyond the bondage to free will. And then finally, he reached to the level where he could now fully trust the divine power. So the free will from bondage and selfishness leads to free will and divine will. So you can see it how it goes from personal will. Once we listen to Bhagavad Gita's teachings, then we are more educated, we understand our purpose of life, and then totally we surrender and we go to the divine will. So here you can see how Arjuna is with personal will. He lost his heroism. But after listening, see how he's marching now. He says, Karishya Vachanam Tav. Let's go. Let me perform my duty. So what are the benefits for us to learn? It gives us the clarity and the purpose of our life. It helps us to make the proper decisions. And we have a self-improvement. We personally grow and not dependent just on our fate. क्योंकि जो whatever is in the kismat वो तो है, लेकिन now with the destiny, like many times the destiny is our fate is already that war, just like in Mahabharata it says that war was already designed by Lord Krishna and all that. It was just the action was going on, but it was already done. So fate was there. But by listening to God's advice, Arjuna, who was gave up, changed his destiny. So we can change our fate with the destiny by teachings of Bhagavad Gita, by doing our sadhana. There is another thing here. When we are at the higher conscious level with the free will and divine will, where we are totally surrendered and we are so calm at that time, we are so united with supreme power, and whatever wishes we have, those wishes do get manifested. Sometimes, when we are calm and we are so connected with, and we think about something and it shows up. And we all have those experiences, that how I thought about something and all of a sudden I got it. I was thinking about this phone call and I got this phone call. So all this inner connection plays a big role. And that's where it says that once we are at that level, we are more capable of fulfilling, manifesting our wishes. And the book Secret is just written based on that one, how to manifest your wishes. And of course, we get the inner peace by self-purification, transformation, and realizing my Chit Ananda. So this is where you see, where this is our individual will is, and then it turns into a free will, and then free will turns into divine will by listening, by practicing all teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And then we finally merge with the supreme power, higher self. So here the summary: self-purification, transformation, and renunciation and surrender. It leads from one place to another. And then we realize the purpose of our life, which says the clarity and the purpose right here. And then self-realization, I am Chit Ananda. And in between, we also, living in this world, we learn these things, how to make decisions, how to have a self-transformation and self-growth, and how to change certain kismat into destiny. Like it says, I always remember one of the Swamiji said, and he said, लेख में मेख लगा देते हैं. In other words, our luck, kismat does change by doing karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and om mantra, and everything. It plays a big role. And we have also heard many stories in our scriptures that with the getting the boon, vardhan, from many saints, they fulfill their wishes. Like some of the people went to the saints and asked for having the children or having the good health or prosperity, whatever, abundance, whatever. They go and they do talk, and believe it or not, it does help. It does help. So now question is how to convert your will into free will. So we should know our dharma. Like Arjuna's, Bhagwan Ji reminded him that you are a Kshatriya, so you must perform your duty righteously. So you make your choice based on your who you are. You are a Kshatriya. You are the soul. And then he was guiding him, detachment from the results, because he was quite confused about what would he be the outcome of the results. And then Bhagwan ji says, Karmanya vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachan ma karma phal hetu bhu ma te sango asma karmani. So don't worry about the results. You should not be lazy. And also you should have the equanimous, but whatever you do, you should be calm. You should be equanimous. And you should not be disturbed with your success and failures and your desires. And he tells him, actually, he reminds him that mind is your master of all the senses. So do not be slave of the senses and the mind. And he tells him that mind is the one. Win on your mind. He Udher Atma Atmanev na Atmanev Vishadet. Atmanev hi Atma Bandhu. Atmanev Ripur Atmana. So your mind is your best friend or worst enemy. So have a control, balance your mind. And then self-knowledge, knowing your true nature. What type of gunas I have? How can I go beyond the gunas? And make decision based on that. Because Bhagwan ji has said before, I do not take any responsibility of anybody's action. It's in chapter 5, we all learned that. I am neutral. I am udasin. You are paying the price of your own gunas. It's gunas and gunas, the karmas and cause and effect. I'm not responsible for your action. Therefore, you should be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Take your action, do your action, which helps you to lead to the next level. And if you want to know your gunas, what are your strengths, and when you perform your duty, you will not facing that too much stress, because sometimes we copycat other people's actions and we want to become something else, but our Subhava is made for something else based on previous karmas. So we must align our Subhava, our gunas, with our own inner strengths. And then choose a path of karma yoga or bhakti yoga or jnana yoga, whatever I am made for. And action and inaction. So now here I put some examples, like Oprah Winfrey. You know, when she was young girl, she was doing many different jobs. And finally, she realized that she is made to teach life transformation. So she chose that path. The other one is do it with morality. Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was the scientist. He used his wisdom for the humanity, his knowledge of physics, humanity. He was a part of the Baba atomic energy, how to create the bombs, but not the atom bombs to kill, but how to help the humanity. And then I put the Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. Here it's Bhagwan ji says, you should contemplate on this wisdom, whatever I have given, and then you should make the decision. So whatever wisdom he has about the business, he totally focuses on it. He strategizes the business in such a way so it helps the company, the shareholders, and also he's a part of now in AI. If you hear them, so many development they are doing in the scientific regions and health region and every region. So his strategy, so he thinks about all the future strategy and the future. He has a great vision. So he's with his vision and the strategy, he thinks about the future of the company. So this verse is so useful for everyone. And then finally it says action and inaction. Act with purpose and intention rather than avoiding action due to fear. Always engage in meaningful action that contribute positively to one's life and the world. So unless you are free from negativity, you cannot have a free will and you cannot lead to the divine will. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. And that's a great message for us. So how to practice it? Study and reflect on it. Spiritual books, Bhagavad Gita. And then follow the advice from will to free will to divine will. And we should do our sadhana, meditate, contemplate on the teachings, know our strength, and then choose, apply in action, interaction with others, how it helps us. Now the lesson for us is, now Bhagwan Ji is telling Arjuna and how should it be applied, but now how are we going to apply in our daily life? Educate and train before asking to make decisions. For example, sometimes we tell our children, when they're teenagers, of course, we have to tell them, do this, do this, do this. So we have to train them. We have to send them to proper education system to learn about their life. But when they are older, then give advice and let them decide. Whether it's children, spouses or friends or others or anybody, now they're ready. They're already educated. They could make the decision. So we should let go our advice. We should not hold on to that why that person is not doing it. Why you are not doing it? I have already told you no. And then here it says, the will that is without bondage, without 5 plus 2 enemies, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, selfishness, leads to free will and divine will. As God likes, Hari kare sukh hari. That's the feeling we get once we come to that level. So from our free will, from our regular will, personal will, to free will, to divine will. And how to now practice it? We have already talked about it, but we start our day, aligning our day in the positive way, reading Bhagavad Gita or reciting 100 and Om mantras, whatever resonates with you. And then practice by taking one message out of it, that what do we need to practice that? And then 60 minutes program, I said, it used to be 60-minute program. There was a TV program in many, many years ago. And based on, so it's not that TV program, but it is basically organized for our own health, our own connection with the supreme power, with the mind, with the breathing exercises, with combining with our energy and meditation and prayers. And then watch God's play and let go. Because getting out of miseries, we have to develop our free will. And based on our swabhavas, then we should perform our duty and let go, with like sannyasa, like Gyan Yoga, with love and compassion. And finally, surrender. And with God's grace, we will attain our true nature, our liberation, our moksha, and experience that I am Chit Ananda. So here is again the summary of Bhagavad Gita, which how it makes one individual man to God, how one with the help of this divine Shakti, divine power, one can reach there. So every night before going to bed, whatever during the day we do, but end of the day, sarva dharman paritajyam, mamekam sharanam braj. Aham tvam sarpapebhyo, mokshashyami ma shucha. Bhagwanji's promise we should remember that he said, don't worry about it. I am with you. I will always take care of you. So our time for homework, be witness, whatever we do. And do I ask the question, remind myself, remind ourselves that the purpose of my life is self-realization. And do I live in God's consciousness, in awareness? Kan kan mein, chan chan mein. How do I use my choices of free will? I get the free will. We have the free will. Now, I could get engaged in this war or not. And with the tamasic behavior, no, I won't. Because I don't know. This is अड़ियल बन जाते हैं जैसे, because हमको पता ही नहीं होता है. लेकिन with the Bhagavad Gita's teachings, we get a greater vision, purpose of our life. And then we practice righteousness, perform our duties, whether it's karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. And then, do I conditionally surrender to God's will? And then our spiritual practices, meditation, mindfulness. So the choice is ours, whether we want to stay in misery and our own will, or we want to go to free will or divine will, which leads us to moksha, which leads us to Param Dham, and continue to practice, practice, practice. That's where arise, awake, stop not, until goal is reached. So, until goal is reached, our goal here is God's will is my will. So, Hari kare so khari. Why worry? ये हरिहर जी महाराज जी का फैट फ्रेज था, हम लोगों को सिखाते थे हमेशा. Whenever we went to talk to him about certain things, he says, Hari kare so khari, why worry? But you focus on your actions. Have faith in God, surrender to him, and follow the Bhagavad Gita's teaching. So step by step, while we do this, we reach to ultimate goal of purpose of life, that I am Chit Ananda, little by little by little. So have a patience. It's not a quick fix, because he also says in Bhagavad Gita, 1 in thousands know the purpose of one's life. And we are so blessed that we are here and we know about that. So thank you very much. How to align my free will with divine will. And by doing that, we get the freedom from pains and miseries, and live happily, healthy, and peaceful life. And of course, attain the purpose of life. So thank you very much.